JD, 3-1 win over Hebden Town, 3 points clear at the top. What are your thoughts?
Couldn't have really gone any better unless it was 3-0, I think. Thought we were outstanding. Thought the difference from that to obviously the poor result on Wednesday was like chalk and cheese, really. Every player out there would give it everything. I don't think we were under really any real pressure at any time. I think, to be fair, we probably could have scored 2 or 3 more ourselves. First half of it, the post, Kev's put one just wide. Mikey's had a really good header that he probably could have just glanced in rather than better contact. And the second half, I thought we were probably even better, to be fair. Obviously, Hebden have to come out a little bit, which changes the game slightly in the way that it was going first half. They're leaving a bit more gaps and they're putting more pressure on us. But there were some performances out there through our midfield and Fowler up front. The whole of the defence, absolutely superb.
Yeah, and what was said on Wednesday night after that result, because it was a really disappointing performance.
You've got to take that as a separate entity to anything else. That's the best way to do that, I think. We obviously changed the starting lineup. We didn't play well. There's a lot of things around that, really. There was a couple of injuries, and however you want to look at it, just put that aside, leave it on its own, and go back to where we were prior to that. And I think that's what we did, really. The work rate out there was exceptional. We didn't really give Hebden a chance to actually impose themselves on us, and that's because of how hard we worked. So we were back to where we were before Wednesday.
Yeah, and that's 2 games at Belper Town and now Hebden, where we've come up against a challenger to the league, and we've emphatically answered the question. So how do we keep ourselves going?
That gives us a little gap, and giving us a gap over the second place team being Hebden is huge. It's a morale boost for us. So we need to keep doing our own thing, just keep taking games off and winning. Obviously at some point we're probably going to drop some points, but hopefully teams behind us will do the same as well. So we've got to keep focused on that. But the 2 games that we've played against Belper and against Hebden, we've been really focused on winning those games, and the opposition being tough, as we've lifted our performance. Instead of shying away from it or feeling like it's a tough game or whatever, it's not that season. It's a season for us to show how good we are, and anybody that's around us in there to step up and say, no, we're the better team here and we want to go and win the league.
Yeah, and moving on to the next game, which is Stocksbridge away. How are you feeling about that one?
Obviously they're having a bit of a tough season compared to where they were last year, which is, I don't know whether that's potentially not a true sort of resemblance of where they should be, or maybe they're just not what they were. We've got to continue to play the same way, continue to do what we do. If they're having a tough season or not, we've still got to keep going with what we want to do. And like I said, we're just going to try and take that game off, try and play a similar way, score as many goals as we can, and just keep going. And
I'm just going to finally end by asking you about the Concert game. Concert are now probably 4 points behind us, so how are you feeling about that one in Boxing Day?
Yeah, just with Concert, they obviously they must be really high on confidence over there, because they're doing really well, and they're sitting where they deserve to be in the league at the moment. So that's going to be another really tough game. And you just look around the league, and the likes of Carlton, Dunstan, they've got quite a few games in hand. They could both go second. If they win their games in hand, they can both go above Hebden. They've got 2 and 3 games in hand respectively. They can go to 36, I think. So they could be up there. So it is quite tight once you get Hebden, Concert, Belper, Dunstan, Carlton, whatever else is going on around there. It's quite tight. Pontefract as well. Obviously got beat last night. There's a lot of games to play, and it will even itself out and work itself out. But that'll be a really good game. I mean, they play on the same surface as this anyway, so they're going to play football. Their confidence will be high, so it'll be a tough game.